all of you lovely aspirants. I hope you guys are doing absolutely well. And trust me when I say this, because with the jitter ticking bomb that's going to go off anytime, I certainly know how confused and how anxiety ridden each of you must be. And to be able to help calm your nerves, here I come. Today, I'm going to not talk strategy. I want to talk about things that you must make sure that you keep coped up with for these last 30 days. At this juncture, it is not as much about academics as much as it is about your Zen. At this point of time, what you have to make sure is you are not being overwhelmed by your vulnerabilities. Negative emotions overlap या कहीं से भी harm नहीं कर रहे हैं आपके positive attributes को. There are going to be a gazillion things everywhere which are going to, turn you down. But you always have to keep a brave face because these 30 days are going to be your make or break. And of course, we want to make the most of it. I also know for a fact that the stakes are high. Whoever says however otherwise, because at this point of time आप देखोगे बहुत लोग आपको assuage करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. They're trying to balm your anxieties by saying that it's going to be okay, all of that. But I know what you're going through. You've put in so much of effort. You've put in so much of hard work, your time, your perseverance. You want to be where you've thought all your life. That's your ambition, that's your goal. There is a lot at stake, I agree. But what you also have to do is, and you have to agree with me when I say this, is trust yourself. At this point of time, it is we not trusting ourselves that can be the biggest mistake that we do. Getting scared, getting anxious is a good thing. You know why people get scared? It is because they have something to lose. People who are not scared at this point of time are actually the ones who should be worried about, because why are they not being so? If you have prepared for an examination, you've put in so much of mehnat into it, this is when you are scared because you're scared of losing. For people who've not put in the effort will not be scared. They're going to be very confident of where they are because they know that they have nothing to lose. So if you are going through any of these jitters and you feel that it's like a mini time bomb that's going to take off anytime, you are at the right place, my friends. This is what we want because this feeling is what will keep you in the game, will not keep you distracted, and will keep you inspired and motivated until the 7th of December. And on the 7th of December, you want to put your best foot forward. You want to come out with flying colors and you just want to fly straight to Nalsar or Bangalore or whichever be the dream college that you have. So without any further ado, let me begin today's session, which is about 30 days, guys. Do not give up. If not for anyone, do it for yourself because you've been putting in all of that effort and now is the time to make it count. So I'm going to tell you very quickly just a couple of comfortable things that are going to keep you together. Because scattering, being all over the place, is very normal. So what I will request you to do is keep your calm intact at all times and please make sure that you practice these things that I speak about. Now, these are not going to be, Greek. They're not incomprehensible things. These are not the kinds of things you wouldn't be able to do. These are normal things that you have to do, but at this point of time, you have to make sure that your ease of mind is more than the academic pressure. Until now, academic pressure could have been, topping the charts, but now you have to shift gears. You have to make sure that now your body, your mind is in alignment to what the stimulus around you is. And which is why this becomes a very important YT for which I need all of yours undivided attention. And without any further ado, let us begin. So I'm going to keep the mood very peppy, very chirpy, very inspirational. So please hang with me until the end of this session because you will come out of this session smiling, if not anything. Let's go. So obviously, I want to always begin by telling that you guys are CLAT warriors, guys. CLAT is not an easy examination. You are actually fighting and you are a soldier. You are a warrior in the making. So CLAT warriors, 30 days. That is it, right? We've been running months, years, And now we are almost on the final lap. All we have to do is take a deep breath, keep our eye set onto the goal, and no distraction. So, this is not the time for us to slow down at all. It is to actually sharpen. We want laser sharp focus at this point of time. The next 30 days, like I said, are going to be our make or break. Whether we go into a dream NLU or not is what is going to be decided by these 30 days. So today we're going to tick off a bucket list. All the things that I want you to do and everything that you must absolutely avoid. Whoever says, however, otherwise, your relationships will come back. Your time, which you've sort of segregated and isolated with everybody will come back, but these 30 days would not. So please make sure that these at least are the kinds of things that you are absolutely on power with. Let's begin. The first and the most important is the mindset check. How should your mindset be? Now, like I said, we're now going to change the status quo. Starting now, our mindset, that is the way our mental game is going to be defining 60% of our game plan. 60% is a huge chunk. You must make sure that this is what you're going to do. So, the kinds of things that you need to make sure is you don't need to study more. You need to now study smarter. So, at this point of time, you don't have to drown yourself in books. You have to make sure that you are studying and effective studying. It's about being efficient. It's not about, running a marathon at this point of time. Don't compare the mock scores, please, guys. Compare your consistency. A mock has varied LODs. You are to compare the mock scores only when you do it with the same LOD. If you compare an easy to a tough mock, obviously your marks are going to, they're going to plummet or they're going to skyrocket. How does that become? How does that become an equitable comparison? It is not. So compare the consistency. Think of how much practice are you doing and did anything change otherwise? Every topper has felt fear. Like I said, it's good to feel fear. You have something to lose, which is why. But they showed up anyway. They don't get in any way scared of not showing up. They're like, okay, we'll see what it has. If nothing, it is an experience. You are getting richer by the experience. So at least grab onto that with both the hands. At this point of time, like we say, energy management is a lot more than time management. It's about how do you focus yourself to be in the plot, and it's about how nicely are you able to stabilize yourself, your mental, your physical, and of course your academic focuses versus the time management. So a lot of students even today write to me, ma'am, how much of RC should we do what pleases you. Do so as much as you have the time and the energy to do it effectively. That is what matters, right? We always say the winner isn't the one who has never fall. It is always the one who's gotten up every time that person falls. So please make sure the mindset is absolutely on point. So starting with the 30-day bucket list that we have. So we're going to start with the first, which is going to be your act of consolidation and cleanup. Gone were the days when you could have everything around you. You need to have a clean study table. You need to have fixated notes. Now you cannot be scrambling over turning pages. No, by now you should have had your flashcards, you should have had your rule books, you should have had your vocab books, you should have had some practices that you know that this is what I'm going to be doing from. Now picking up so many books and keeping a pile just to have the drama going around is not going to work for us. So consolidate all of the important things and clean up all the rest of the things that are simply there mucking up your place. So revise the core concepts, the RC types, the logical structure, the static GK, the current GK, the legal principles, whatever you think is important. Start with the revision of those. Make a revision Bible, something that we've been harping on since the starting. Short notes, error logs, very important. Identify your weakest section and give it 3 focused days. At this point of time, we don't want to be picking up anything new, but we definitely want to get better with what we are slightly lagging behind with. Give it focus days because right now also you do have that time to be able to do. So do not start a new book, a new course, or a random material now. Do revise what you already know until it becomes instinctive. You're like, okay, something like this has come. I know how to do this because it should naturally come to you. It should not be the kind wherein you are ransacking your head thinking, यार ये कैसे होना है, क्या होना है, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं है. The mock marathon. I know at this point of time, a lot of students are going crazy. 6, 7, 8, 9 mocks करे. क्यों? A mock should be your practice arena, but your learning should then be practiced elsewhere so that the next mock again becomes a parameter for you to know where to get better or whether you're getting better or not. I see a lot of students just doing mock back to back, but why? How do you propose that you get better? I mean, you've learned your learnings in a mock and then you do another mock only to do a new set of mistakes? जो आपने गलती की उसको सीखोगे कहाँ? मॉक में नहीं सीख सकते हो. मॉक becomes the area where you practice. So please make sure, guys, doing 4 mocks a week is enough. Once every 2 days is enough. You don't have to go mad doing the mocks. Please rest yourself there. So take about 4 to 5 full length, but you need to do is stimulate the exam conditioning. 2 to 4 ही देना है और full dedication के साथ देना है. After every mock at this point of time, guys, please spend 2x time doing the analysis. Very important, because here your growth will be very minuscule. It's going to be these little things. एक नंबर, आधा नंबर, ये वो approach, इसमें गड़बड़ होगा. Fundamentally अब कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं होगा क्योंकि now you're veterans, you're seasoned, you know what it is. It's going to be these little places where you'll try and be able to increase your marks. Make a mistake tracker, please. 1 line per error. What went wrong? What should you be doing next? You have to have this tracker and you have to revise this before you sit for the next mock. Don't get demotivated by this course, which also gets me to, please guys, CLAT के एक दिन पहले कोई mock मत देना, because then that mock will be directly proportional to what your mood will be during the CLAT examination. So stay away 2 days before and that's it. Practice, read, muscle memory बढ़ाओ, but don't rely on those scores. Guys, scores can dip for any goddamn reason. ऐसा कहीं पे भी नहीं लिखा है कि हमेशा आपका आपका परफॉर्मेंस ही है जो गड़बड़ होता है. So please make sure that your marks don't become the threshold of all your decisive, all your decision making for that matter. Do track improvement and accuracy and your decision making speed. Those are the kinds of things, of course, that you must be doing. Pressure stimulation and strategy testing. Like I've been saying this all throughout, guys, you need to have 2 strategies on point. Plan A, plan B. Plan C, plan D भी रखो. Plan A is your A game. Plan B is, say for example, mock tough आ गया या lengthy आ गया या CLAT का पेपर ऐसा आ गया, XYZ कोई भी आ गया. अब क्या करेंगे? उस समय आपके पास instinctively एक plan होना चाहिए कि you can to flip from 1 to B. This is what needs to be done, not the other way around. So you have to make sure that your plan is on point and that you have plan A, plan B, plan C, so that at that point of time you are not fidgeting between the sections and thinking, "Hi Rabba, kya kare?" You have to be a pro at it. So please make sure that you try at least 2 mocks with change strategies. Maybe, swapping a section or doing a time frame thing or extending the time, whatever you feel. But there should be ready plans that you need to have. Do time sectional drills. For example, 12 minutes for GK, 35 for legal, so on and so forth. All your practices now going forward have to be time drilled so that your brain consciously and unconsciously both understands 35 minutes में इतने question हो जाने चाहिए. You're tutored to it. So you don't have to keep looking at the time, because looking at the time is one of the most meanest thing you can do to yourself. Challenge yourself for harder than CLAT, RCs and puzzles, because वो कर पा रहे हो तो उससे आसान तो आराम से कर ही पाओगे. So please make sure materials को थोड़ा सा amp up कर दो. Tough करोगे तो आसानी वाला तो अपने आप ही हो जाएगा. Don't try to be perfect. Do try to get comfortable being in uncomfortable scenarios, because chaos is normal. You have to simply be skilled at handling that chaos. The next, your calm, your confidence, and your control of the scenario. Reduce the mocks to 2 to 3 in the final week. Like I said, final week में बहुत ज़्यादा don't overdo, don't overkill. Don't be a killjoy there. Let everything have its charm. Focus on the mental rest, the short revision, the light reading that you have to do. GK revise करने का time रखो, and do, of course, finish up with your sectionals and dedicate the day to GK. And GK also should not be, अच्छा बहुत लोगों को लग रहा होगा कि एग्जाम के दिन में कुछ याद नहीं आएगा, अभी भी कुछ याद नहीं आ रहा, क्या होगा? सब आएगा. आपके साथ भी तो होता है एग्जाम्स के पहले, फर्स्ट एग्जाम के पहले लगता है कि कुछ भी नहीं याद आ रहा, but then the moment you sit with that paper, everything comes back. It will all be there. All what you have to do is trust yourself. And that will only happen when you're calm. So please make sure you're taking enough mental rest. Your sleep cycle adjustment is very important. Wake up, take a mock at the actual time. Make sure that you're practicing 3 micro revision cycles, which are going to be notes, mistakes, and of course your GK. So you're going to do your sectionals, find out whatever notes are, make your mistakes, and then ultimately go to GK. Do not pull all-nighters. You don't want to be nocturnal. You want to be an early bird now. So don't be no, all-nighters and don't panic. I forgot everything. Just trust your preparation, hydrate, rest well. Everything will naturally fall in that course of order. Section wise do's and don'ts that you need to very quickly give account to. आरसी एंड इंग्लिश में रिवाइज कर लो टोन्स जितने भी वर्ड्स है इन्फ्रेंसेस का अप्रोच अजम्पशन टाइप्स दो तीन क्वेश्चंस को निकाल के देख लो कैसे अप्रोच था क्वेश्चन से लीड लोगे सबसे अच्छे तरीके से समझ में आएगा इफ यू सिट टू रिवाइज इट्स गोइंग टू गेट डिफिकल्ट बिकॉज समटाइम्स क्वेश्चंस ऑफर वैरायटी don't skim the passages train to read with intent stop this habit of making you're skimming your practice. No, you need to read through because CLAT doesn't ask tough passages, but it does ask tricky passages. So you have to know how to go ahead with that. Read the editorials for warm up. Like I said, warm up करना बहुत जरूरी होता है. Your reading, your first reading should not be on in the CLAT paper. लीगल के लिए प्रिंसिपल एप्लीकेशन की क्लैरिटी समझ लो क्या होती है मेमोराइज नहीं करो हर बार समझो फ्रेश लॉजिक लगा के कि क्या समझे डोंट रिलाई ऑन द एक्सप्लेनेशन राइट अवे फर्स्ट ट्राई टू फोर्स योर सेल्फ टू थिंक कि मैंने गलत किया तो क्या गलत किया इसको मैं कैसे बेटर कर सकता था एंड देन मे बी refresh the logic do at least the pyps under time so that you know how to do it the best for logical quite a rocky board for a lot of you guys revisit the tricky questions in the pattern क्वेश्चन रिविजिट करने से आपका अप्रोच आपको याद आता है डोंट चेज 100% accuracy aim for fast elimination okay guys now please know English maths and GK these are the only three sections wherein you can aim for a full critical reasoning legal reasoning nope you can't get a 24 on 24 because this is subjective it is personal it is opinionated you can't be thinking you don't have the author's brain so please make sure you can aim for a good number, but you can't get a full. So don't chase a 24, be realistic. 22 ले आओ, 23 ले आओ. But कहीं ना कहीं आपका obviously detract करेगा point of view, which is very important for you to acknowledge. So please try to get better with the sections wherein you can get, and don't chase sections with a full 100% accuracy where you will never get. Right? Keep one liner page of logic keywords unless only if explicit implicit जितने भी rules हम लोग बात करते हैं जो आपको लगता है कि these need to be the ones that I need to keep on my fingertips please make sure you have those written down your current affairs in your GK revise last 12 months from your trusted source at this point of time don't switch sources don't be like jack of all trades master of none just be a jack of one trade and master of that by now you should have your concised your condensed versions and you should have started on round 2 of GK revision make sure that you make 100 must know events flashcard because you wouldn't have the time to flip through all of the pages you just want to have something which is your go-to flashcard notes for maths of course practice small sets daily not these long sessions burst mein karo pomodoro technique 25 is 20 is to 5 or 25 is to 5 20 minutes of work 5 minutes of playtime that's how it is. Even for the DI sets, don't struggle so much. Keep an account that, okay, if I want to finish the DI set in about 7.5 or 8 minutes, maybe I will want to make the set in about 3-4 minutes. 4 minutes mein nahi bana, okay, take some break time, redo it again. But don't do extensive DIs. That's not how it's done. Don't neglect the thinking. It's only 10 to 12 questions. That's not how it is. Use 10 minutes a day to keep the formulas fresh. You should have a small little cheat book of yours wherein you have all of the formulas as well. Very quickly, let's see what needs to be the mind and the body strategy because this is the power couple. This is like the most important thing right now. Please sleep 8 to 10 hours daily. Brain consolidation happens in sleep. The recovery happens in sleep. The fatigue goes off in sleep. If you're not sleeping, this is missing out. Eat light before the mocks. Avoid caffeine overload. Please don't do that. Do 5 minutes of deep breathing before studying all the mocks. You need to know how to calm yourself down, how to anchor yourself. Whatever. It's just not this meditation, some stretching, whatever works, walking, whatever actually. Do 1 day of full digital detox in the last week. No phone, no social media. Just you and your textbooks. That's about it. Because you're not tired. You're just one step away from the breakthrough. But if you quit now, it'll become a distant dream. 1 month from now, you will thank yourself for not having given up. But that will only happen if you stick to all the things that are being said. So in the next 30 days, please understand it's not about the talent, the luck, the destiny. It's about the grit, it's about the discipline, it's about the sincerity, it's about the perseverance that you have. So you don't have to do anything extraordinary. You just have to do the ordinary things consistently, relentlessly, and fearlessly. Because on the day of the paper, when you get it, the CLAT is not going to ask you, are you scared? It is always going to ask you, are you ready? And you do want to be ready, isn't it? Please make sure that you put all of this to practice and don't quit now. CLAT is not for quitters. CLAT is for all of the people who rise above this. And you've got it. And that, my friend, was a 30-day don't quit now motivation session for you guys. Please see this every time you feel in any way desolated or you feel discouraged, and make sure you reach out to the nearest mentors if in case there's any other sinking feeling that you have, because if you've done so much effort, let your efforts shine. Thank you so much for giving me your valuable time. I will see you guys very soon. Until then, keep practicing, my dears.